Hello everyone. Today we are going to see what are UML diagrams. UML stands for Unified Modeling Language. Yeah, the basic idea is to have a uniform way to represent the classes, objects, relationships, and interactions within a simple system or a complex system to make it easier for developers and stakeholders to understand and communicate about the system. So let's talk about importance. So first we'll talk about visualization. So using UML diagrams, it is easier to understand the structure, relationships, and interaction between the components. Then there is documentation. It serves as a detailed documentation for the software architecture, which is useful for maintaining and scaling the application. It helps in communication as well. So because it is common for all like developers, stakeholders, software designers, so they all can communicate about the design. So it is a standard document also, and like it helps to ensure that everyone understands the system design in the same way. Now coming to class diagrams. So basically it represents a structure of a system by showing its classes, attributes, method and relationship among them. We'll talk about the components in detail now. So first we have class. Class is nothing but a blueprint of an object. Basically it has data and behavior. How we are going to represent a particular class is through this rectangular box. So suppose we have a class name accounts. It has data like ID, name, account type, phone number. So this minus means private and plus means public. So these are all the private members of this particular class. The below part is after this particular line, we have methods here, or you can say behavior. So the above part is properties, or you can say data, and the below part is behavior, or you can say methods. So suppose it has get account type and get name, and the return type is a string. So you see how it is being constructed. So plus means public method, then there is method name, and then there is return type. What is going to be the return type? So you see the account type was of a string, so we are going to return in get account type is a string only. Similarly for the get name as well. So this is how we write a class with members and methods inside it. Now coming to abstract classes or interfaces. So it's basically a contract that defines method that a class must implement. And how we are going to represent this is through is by writing abstract on top and then the giving the abstract name. These are the again members and behavior. For interfaces, we'll write like this. Above, we can give it as interfaces, or you can write it like I accounts by I representing that it is an interface. So in industries, all three methods are valid and are being used. So coming to association, it describes a relationship or link between two or more classes. Now association has many types. First one we are going to talk about inheritance. Basically it represents is a relationship. You can see that there is a vehicle and there is car and bus. So car is a vehicle and bus is a vehicle. And how inheritance is represented in class diagram is through this particular filled arrow line. Now coming to aggregation, it's a weaker form of association where one object contains another object but they can exist independently. So you see here there is a car and there is an engine. They both can exist independently and it is represented like this with the diamond arrow which is not filled. So car has a engine, has a relationship. Now coming to composition, it's a strong association where one object is a part of another and they cannot exist independently. So there is a house and there are rooms. So house cannot exist without rooms. So therefore it's a strong has a relationship. And this is represented through a fill diamond arrow. Dependency. So it's a kind of a relationship where one class relies on another class in some way, often through method parameters, return types, or temporary associations. So this is a cart and this is a product. You can see that it takes an argument of product to save it to the cart. So this is a kind of a relationship where cart has a dependency on product. Now let's come to realization. So realization is something where the class implements the behavior that is defined by the abstract class or an interface. So for example, here you can see that this is a vehicle. Vehicle is can be abstract or an interface that has a start engine method. That's an abstract method. And the car has now implemented this particular start engine. So now we can say that this is also a realization relationship. Yeah, I think that's all you need to understand regarding the UML diagrams. In my upcoming videos, we are going to talk about the design patterns, and I'll be explaining everything using UML diagrams only. So learning this would be very much helpful in understanding the design patterns that I'm going to discuss. Yeah, that's all guys. Thanks everyone. We'll see you in the next video.